for opening review, I'm going to turn to Alban.
Okay. Well, as we mentioned last week in looking ahead, Thor was not a movie that I was looking forward to, and I don't think anyone here was looking forward to, especially looking at the trailers, especially feeling like it was going to be really stupid. But in seeing that it was highly regarded, we decided to give it a chance. And so with that in mind, I actually built up expectation, built up excitement going into this film. And I'm happy to say that even with built up expectation, I still came away enjoying this film. I had fun with it. Now I do have a lot of critiques about it. I'm not a big fan of the story. I'm not a fan of how everything just played out. But the surprising thing is, I felt that it was actually the acting that really carried this movie. I felt that Chris Hemsworth and Natalie Portman were really, really good in their roles. I didn't see anything in the story that suggested they should have fallen in love, but because their acting was so spot on, like, it's Natalie Portman. I believe her. She's in love. She was
pretty charming. Yeah, I was like, I'll fall in love with her.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, like, I believe that she was in love with this guy. You know, and I was like, just looking at her face and just seeing the way that she expressed herself, there was no doubt. I was just convinced. I was like, okay, it's silly. It's been like a day. You've known this guy for one day. There's no reason why
you should. Did you see him with his shirt off?
I did, and and that's the other thing I have to say about this movie. I'm a dude, okay? That's pretty sure. Well, you may not be sure after what I'm about to say, but good golly, he was really attractive. Like, I don't understand, like, how he could be that good looking and that charming in the span of the movie. Like,
stirring feelings whenever he has.
Like,
I just want him to hold me at night.
He was pretty amazing. Like, just seeing him look, I mean, like, this was one thing if he's, like, just good looking, but he was charming. Like, I really enjoyed his personality and just the way he carried himself. And,
Really? I thought he was kind of an ass.
No.
Yes.
All right, go ahead. Tell me about that.
No, go ahead, Brian.
Well, yeah, in the beginning of the movie, he was very arrogant. I mean, that was one of the reasons he got kicked out of Asgard to begin with, was because of his arrogance. And that was basically the point of the movie, was him trying to become more like his father. Yeah. More of an understanding person who isn't headstrong and rushing into things.
Apparently all it takes is one night of heavy drinking.
One night of heavy drinking and then emptying your soul to Natalie Portman, and then boom, you're the best person in the world. But
I can believe that.
and realizing that you can't pick up that hand, that he has no power whatsoever.
Yes, that was a very changing point in the movie. Yeah. It was when he realized that he's no longer a prince. He's no longer...
He's just human. Yeah.
The strongest person. He's mortal.
Yeah.
But let's talk a little bit about what they're doing. Do we like what they're doing? Is this going to change movies and comic books?
Has anything like this ever been done before? Where you have movies that are somewhat disconnected, but they are all interrelated like this? I don't think anybody's ever done anything like this before.
Characters like weaving together in such a large mythology.
That's film? Not a direct like.
Not a direct sequel.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything that's been done.
No, I don't think so. Like, this is...
Because what's happened is they're building up individual movies that will tie in.
And they're just using the same S.H.I.E.L.D. guy over and over again. He's in every movie so far. He's been in it.
Yeah, tying everything together.
He's good as Agent Coulson. And the thing is that guy's now Agent Coulson, that poor actor.
Yeah. Clark
Gregg. I've seen him in stuff before. He is now Agent Coulson. That's his life, basically, at this point.
I was watching New Adventures of Old Christine, and it's just like, oh my gosh, it's the guy from...
He's very good, but yeah, the S.H.I.E.L.D. guy...
The problem with it, though, is, it's going to break down. It already has with Hulk, Incredible Hulk. They're already having to replace... Edward Norton with Mark Ruffalo, and so they're not gonna be able to keep it hanging together perfectly.
Yeah, it's not gonna be perfect, but I mean, I'm not gonna complain about the Mark Ruffalo thing. Yeah. I mean, I think it's pretty brilliant what they're doing with creating the universe and separate stories, because now you don't have to deal with trying to do everyone's origin stories You know, like everyone has already been established by the time Avengers comes into play. You know, like I thought Bryan Singer was brilliant with the way he did X-Men, but with the way he did X-Men, he really only did like one main character, and then like these other guys were just kind of supporting. Yeah. So I'm really excited about when they actually pull together Avengers. You know, now that we all have been introduced to all these characters and we know what they are and what they're all about, like they're gonna go right into the Avengers. You know, and like that becomes something that is really worth being excited about, as opposed to like, oh gosh, what are they gonna do this to screw it up, you know?
Yeah, well, and it's Joss Whedon stuff.
And it's Joss Whedon.
Do you think Thor has made you more excited, or
for
the
Avengers?
Avengers? Yeah.
I'd have to say yes, but I mean, I'll have to see Captain America to know before I'm fully on board with the Avengers. But I can't say that.
Thor. I think Thor is like the weakest. Personally, I think it's the weakest concept out of all the superheroes.
I was just gonna say that.
I mean, in the Marvel universe,
I
mean, if we bring in DC, there's Aquaman, which is absurd. But in the Marvel universe, I think Thor is the weakest concept, and the fact that you're able to make a decent movie out of it gives me high hopes.
Thor versus Bridget Jones's Diary.
Well, so do we? I like Bridget Jones's Diary. I really do. It's funny.
Minus 5 man points.
hey, it's got a fight scene in it. It's a pretty cool fight scene.
Do they ride horses on a rainbow bridge? I don't think so.
Rainbow Bridge is pretty intense.
That's what you're going to use to defend it. Horses on a rainbow bridge, it's
minus 5 man points for you.
Wow.
You know, that one thing I did mention is, as soon as they got on that rainbow bridge, I kept thinking of the Mario Kart level.
Oh, yes!
I was like, Mario Kart!
That's exactly Rainbow Road. That's what I said.
If you jump up now, it's a shortcut.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going Bridget Jones's Diary on here. It's based on a strength.
Really?
It is a full movie. There's a story that you can get behind. Thor, not so much. Like, in between the first and this segment, I had to ask you guys questions about what the heck happened during the movie. Like, I didn't understand it.
That's true.
It was not really clear. Bridget Jones's Diary, actually, like a full movie.
Colin Firth or Chris Hemsworth?
Chris Hemsworth, come on. That's not even a question. Not even a question.
I have to side with Alban on that question.
I think I would go with Alban.
Has Colin Firth been unseated?
I bet if you asked him to talk to my wife, that it would be Colin Firth.
I don't know, maybe... you should ask her again. Maybe you should have taken...
You having conversations with her that I should know about?
I'm surprised you went Bridget Jones' Diary, because I'm going to go Bridget Jones' Diary as well. Just because I have a fun time watching it. I think you're right. It's a more complete movie. There's more to it. Yeah. Take away my man points if you have to. Yeah,
that's fine.
I'll get it back somehow.
I'm a big blockbuster fan, so I'm siding with Thor on this one.
Oh God, it's on me.
That's all right. You weren't gonna use those 5 man points anyways.
Wow, but Natalie Portman's in Thor.
She is.
She is.
She's awesome
really
in
good.
Thor.
She's really good.
I would have to go with Bridget Jones' Diary.
All right.
Wow.
I'm not sad about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thor.
So that's not bad. 328?
No.
Yeah.
This is where you're at.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Newbie.
You should probably announce where.
So Thor's now number 328 on our flick chart.
We do a few random.
We'll do a few
Good
random.
job, feeding the lines.
Here, I'll just stand over here with.
The Rangmore movie.
Yeah.
Wow.